Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Spain reveals ground zero of massive blackout. What really caused the Iberian collapse? Let's see if they're gonna lie or not.
Breaking news from Spain after weeks of
when
uncertainty,
you say Iberian,
speculation, and
that means like what?
Iberian Peninsula.
concern,
Oh,
the Spanish government has finally begun to unveil the first results of its intensive investigation into the massive blackout that brought the Iberian Peninsula to a standstill. If you're curious about critical grid infrastructure and its failures, hit like and subscribe for updates. The story isn't over. Now, back to the mystery at hand. It's the most detailed insight yet into an event that paralyzed two countries, Spain and
wow,
Portugal, on April 28th,
wow.
when one of the largest power failures in recent European memory swept across cities, towns, and rural areas alike. Now, with mounting public
I wonder if there's available shots from the space what they look like.
Oh,
Compared like France to
that's
those two
so
countries.
scary. I can imagine what it's like at night because here in Florida, when there's a hurricane and the electricity goes out, it's just so crazy outside. You see the stars, you hear the animals howling, and it's like, "Mm,
Mm,
close your doors, lock your
that,
doors."
that's not really that crazy. That's
It's a little scary. They put like curfew and people can't be out
mm.
on the streets once it get
pressure and
dark.
international attention, the government is lifting the curtain on what really happened that day and where it all began. On that late
That's
April evening,
scary.
life across the region moved on as usual. The
Can you
sun dipped
imagine
below the horizon.
you're on the street during this time? Like it just goes dark.
Your car still works. You have light
Mm.
from your car. It's not
Yeah,
that
but the
bad.
street lights. And
Okay.
then also when you get home, if you have like electric, you can't get inside.
Yes, that is a problem. Yeah.
I wonder if you can open. I guess you can open it from the inside. No,
Probably. I don't know.
no.
There has to be some sort of override, I think. I don't know.
Lights came on, and the Iberian night stirred into motion. But in the blink of an eye, that rhythm was violently interrupted. Lights went dark. Transport systems stalled. Homes, hospitals, and businesses lost power. It was chaos, and it spread fast.
Oh, the
The scope of the
hospitals.
blackout shocked even
They
seasoned
probably
That's
have
the
experts.
generators.
generators.
Yeah,
This
they
wasn't
probably have
just a
generators.
glitch or a regional hiccup. It was a systemic failure, one that cascaded across the grid, triggering a wave of disconnections and leaving millions in the dark. And now, for the first time, we know where it started. Do you think it comes from a
How many
renewable-based
days?
station, old transmission
I think
lines,
one
or a
day.
Only
substation?
one day. Oh,
Speaking to the Spanish Congress of Deputies, Minister for Ecological Transition, Sarah Augustin revealed the epicenter of the collapse. According to the government's preliminary findings, the initial generation failures were traced to three provinces in southern and western Spain: Granada, Badajoz, and Seville. But the most critical point, the true ground zero of the incident, was a substation in Granada. That substation suffered a failure so severe that it caused the sudden loss of 2.2 gigawatts of electricity, a disruption powerful enough to unbalance the entire system. Within moments, that imbalance spiraled out of control, rippling across the country's electrical infrastructure like falling dominoes. Regions began disconnecting from the grid, and the blackout took on a life of its own. But the real mystery isn't where it began, it's why. Minister Augustin was unequivocal: the cause remains unknown. And although the investigation is ongoing, several early theories have already been ruled out. This wasn't a
It's hard to put into
oh.
words the horrors that we
Hmm.
witnessed
It's
every day
hackers.
during
I
our
know it's
time
about
here.
to say it's not
Entire
hackers.
families
It's
coming
hackers.
to
problem of insufficient network coverage, nor
Oh,
was it
oh.
due to backup system failures or grid size limitations. The usual suspects didn't fit. What makes this case even more complex is what happened before the blackout. Approximately 30 minutes prior to the incident, two unusual oscillations were detected between the Iberian grid and the rest of continental Europe. These power and frequency swings, subtle but significant, hinted at instability building quietly in the system. This observation aligns with early reports from the European Network of Transmission System Operators for Electricity, or ENTSO-E. Their data confirms that two disturbances were indeed recorded across Europe's synchronous area. These weren't just isolated Iberian fluctuations. They were part of a broader regional disturbance. Could the blackout be part of something larger? An early sign of instability in Europe's interconnected power grid? That's now one of the most pressing questions driving the investigation. Behind closed doors, a digital forensic effort is in full swing. Analysts are combing through millions of data points,
Still, or do we
tracking the
have findings?
No, they said there's no findings. Yeah,
What do you
because
mean? They said there was two disturbances that they noted.
no, no, yes, but they don't know why. Like that's what I'm saying. There's no findings of
What
why.
was the point of the investigation? I need to know the
This
why.
is ongoing.
Oh,
But
I thought they were finishing it.
no, but that's what I'm saying. I kind of thought this video would be why. So, because we don't have
Oh,
why, it's, I mean, okay.
Flow of electricity, communication between substations, and the precise
I
time.
guess the first step is to see where, then you can actually physically go there and, try to recover data or whatever, figure out what happened there.
Of the cascade. Every second matters. Every anomaly could be a vital clue. Minister Augustin stressed that the government is approaching this with rigor and truth. No assumptions, no premature conclusions, only hard data and careful analysis. She assured the public that the investigation will continue relentlessly because understanding what happened is not just a technical necessity, it's a matter of national security. The
so
blackout
how did they
lasted only
fix it?
hours, but its implications could last far
I don't
longer.
know.
As the government and European energy officials
Well, how I would think if it really, the three stations that kind of, well, started at one, spread into three, and those, so you disconnect those three to the network and from the network and restart the network without those three. And then check those three independent, see what the fuck's going on there, and reconnect those three. So that's how I think it should have gone, but I'm not sure how it went.
dig deeper, the truth is slowly surfacing. Spain is determined to ensure that this never happens again. But first, it must uncover exactly how it happened in the first place. And that leads us to the many possible scenarios being considered by investigators. Was it a hardware failure, an aging transformer, or a protection relay that malfunctioned under pressure? Could it have been a software bug in the automated systems that manage load balancing and frequency control? Was it an external cyber
I
attack
think
probing
we
for
only
weak
had something similar happen here in the States when there was a Super Bowl and there was a power outage. But this was to assume that everyone was around the same time using the electricity to watch the game, and they lost power. But in Spain, I would be curious to know.
Yeah, never had the whole country here in the States. I don't even, is it possible to have the whole country?
Mm-hmm.
Because the country is so huge, are all the systems interconnected to a point where one failure would disconnect
Mm-hmm.
everybody? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the weird
I
thing.
think because the country is so huge, it might be more like regionally located. I don't know if it would be possible that the
Oh.
whole country goes out. So, because realistically, what is the size of Spain? Like Texas or something? Maybe,
Just,
you know,
but still, that's pretty large for everything to go off.
they're all
And
interconnected
then
though.
also
So
in another state, another
in
country,
Portugal, yeah,
Portugal.
yeah. Well, they're all interconnected, so that's why it went out. So, but I don't know if the States is as interconnected, the whole country, all
Mm-hmm.
what 48 continental states. I'm not sure.
weaknesses in Europe's electrical infrastructure, or perhaps a combination of high demand stress and a minor technical fault that spiraled into a full-scale grid failure. Some experts even suggest that climate-driven anomalies, like extreme weather, temperature shifts, or atmospheric disturbances, might have played a hidden role in destabilizing the system. Other experts
I can
commented
see
that
it. I
renewables
mean,
may
there's buildings, they have a housing issue. There's homes that are not finished built.
Yeah,
So
it's
I don't know
possible.
if they don't invest in their infrastructure. This is part of infrastructure.
It's possible, yeah.
have played a role because wind and solar accounted for about 70% of electricity generation just before the outage happened. Each of these scenarios is being explored. None are off the table. What we know for sure is that in today's world, power grids are more interconnected and more vulnerable than ever. A glitch in one corner of the continent can send shockwaves across entire nations. What do you think could have caused such a massive, cascading failure across two countries? Was it a simple technical malfunction, like a faulty transformer or relay system? Could a
How
cyber
long?
attack be lurking
How
behind the
long
scenes?
do you think it will take people to go mad?
What do you mean?
Like, if you see the power is not coming back on, how long until
What's
people
there to
get
go mad
antsy?
about?
Antsy.
Oh,
You know, you
antsy.
start. Because here, when it's a hurricane, after like a week, there's concerns of looting. People gonna break into the stores, get food
There's a
supply.
difference though. Here it's in the city. If it's very unusual here in the city, but like if from where I'm from, we're fine without the power. I mean,
No, but that's the thing. I think in Spain they're very, very reliant on the power grid.
I don't. I think same is not that different from Lithuania in that sense. I think people were, yeah, like if you're like in Madrid, Barcelona, yeah, in the middle of the city, maybe. But I feel like out in the rural areas, you're kind of like, okay, whatever, been through this before. I don't know.
Can I see the comments?
Oh, that's only 56 views. I don't know if you'll get the comments. 3 comments. Oh. A single point of failure could cause such a blackout. It would have happened long ago. Also, if renewables were an intelligent solution, engineers are implementing them ages ago. More and more blackouts are coming due to renewables and non-smart grids.
I think so.
So they're blaming renewables? Oh.
Interesting.
Mm.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.